my favorite part of this village is right here. This pumpkin with the half mouth, the lighted eyes, and then the mouth turns into the steps. So if you are familiar with Spooky Town or a Spooky Town collector, you will know that these clear window style boxes usually contain the Essex Street collection, and this year's collection is going to be the Creepy Pumpkin Patch. Prior years have had Raven Hill and one of my personal favorites, the Haunted Estates. But this is this year's, and it's a really cool piece. Typically, these are not animated pieces. They're just lighted buildings. And also, unfortunately, they do not come with any kind of adapter. Had they come with an adapter, that would be indicated here. And that's one of my complaints last year about the Haunted Estates. Same goes for this year. With a price tag of $129.99, or even worse in Canada, $169. Unfortunately, no adapter. Anyhow, we're going to get this out of the box and check it out. So on a side note, they did change the packaging for this year's collection. Not sure why. It used to come in 2 styrofoam things that kind of went together just like this, and you have to pull them apart. But this year, they used some kind of corrugated, looks like cardboard type thing. And they want you to actually cut it, which I'm going to do to get this out of the package. Not sure how easily that's going to be repackaged. Should I decide to repackage it? So the best thing I can do is we're just going to slide it out, just to be safe. And it does ask you to cut it again on the bottom. So I cut it, and it appears like it's just going to collapse out. As long as it protects the village and the village is undamaged, I don't care if they package it in styrofoam. Although one plus about having it in this eggshell type packaging is that it's not going to get the styrofoam nubbies all over the place, which that I do appreciate. So for you guys who just are casual village collectors, you might not know that the SX line manufactures flatback villages which can be hung, versus the other villages which are meant as just to be set on a shelf, such as those. So Raven Hill and the Haunted Estates are part of this line, and they are the same. They all have this where they are not animated and sculpted anymore beyond this area. We're going to turn this on because it's much more interesting with the lights on. In typical Essex Street fashion, this is very well lit. That's one thing that these lighted buildings have in this line, is that they're extremely well lit. I am no longer collecting lighted buildings, and Michael's has quite a few lighted buildings this year, which I had to pass on because of space issues. I'm typically just collecting the buildings that are animatronic this year and passing up all the lighted buildings because just do not have the room to collect anymore. This, however, is the Creepy Pumpkin Patch, and I'm a sucker for anything pumpkins. If you don't believe me, just look around the room that I have here. You'll see probably, I wouldn't be surprised if there was 1,000 pumpkins in this room between all the villages, and then up there, all that, and then some of the items that are over there, like I'm a huge pumpkin lover. Don't know what that's about. I just am. So, and here's a bunch more in this thing. A little cool guy there, hanging out, waiting for some scraps from the cider area. Got a really cool looking zombie there in the front, and then they use that guy a lot. He's been on a ton of stuff. He's even had a few figures that look like that. Wicked cider meal open. And Michael's wasted no time this year getting these villages out. This is the first time I'd ever seen villages hit stores in June. Typically July, sometimes even August, but they are on top of it this year, which I'm a fan of. My favorite part of this village is right here. This pumpkin with the half mouth, the lighted eyes, and then the mouth turns into the steps leading up to, we can't even see. It looks like the steps begin down here with a few guys hanging out, a cluster of pumpkins back there, and then the steps continue out the other side of the pumpkin and go up to this door with a few haunted eyes and some shelves of pumpkins back there. It says beware. There's a lot to beware of on this village. One thing I'm not crazy about, and Lemax has done this time and time again on multiple buildings, is this fencing along the top. It's kind of a, I guess, 40s or 50s haunted house type thing. The fencing on top of the haunted house, but I don't get it. It could just as easily have been left blank and I wouldn't have cared. Lots of little details on this though. Let's see if I could zoom on. There we go. Little pumpkins. Some pumpkins that appear to be rotted. Coming down here. It's the little things that they throw in on this that make this a cool piece. I'm still going to give the nod over the last few years to the Haunted Estates as being my favorite. Raven Hill would come in last. This would come in second. This is really nice. Was not impressed with Raven Hill. The moon on my Raven Hill broke off. Partly the reason I have a vendetta against Raven Hill. This one's really nice. If I can get another one of these, I might just get another one of these and put it on my desk at work, because this is a super cool thing. Look at that in all its glory. I actually forgot about this one. I ordered most of my villages in April this year online and forgot that this was a Michael's exclusive coming out until I saw it on the website, and then I saw it personally in the store. I was sold already. Some villages that I was just talking about the smoke and mirrors shop on the previous episode. That one had not sold me on the stock photo. This one, however, did. All right, well, that's gonna wrap up this creepy pumpkin patch. Again, just to reiterate, the price point is $129. It is at Michael's right now. I got mine for 20% off. Saved a little bit of money on it. It is number 1 at Michael's. It does not come with an adapter, so if you don't have an adapter handy, you're gonna have to pick one up at Michael's as well. Or what I would recommend doing as far as an adapter, if you look over to my village display, they have these new adapters. You can see it right there, the white one. I got a white one and it has 4 prongs, which means it lights 4 buildings. And that was $21 with, I think, a 20% off coupon. So, needless to say, there's better deals out there than the adapters they have at Michael's. You just got to shop around, make sure you get the right one. This does require a 4.5 volt adapter. That's the one that you want to get for this. Anyway, that's enough of this episode. I will see you guys back on the channel. We are on the road to Halloween 2024. Lots more villages coming down the pipe. So long, everybody. I want to let everybody know that I do have an eBay store, and thank you to everybody who's been buying stuff. It's been doing like record numbers on my eBay store, so if you bought something, thank you, and I hope you're enjoying the item you bought. Got a lot of the stuff behind me. Actually, I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera or not, but that whole top row up there is all listed on eBay. And I have a lot of collectibles from horror to wrestling listed on that eBay store, so go ahead and check that out.